All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is Wednesday. What is it? July 17th, because it is July 16th right now.
This very second?
And ladies and gentlemen, if I may make an exciting announcement, just to start us off the bat here, I think you guys have known this has been coming. For those of you that have been with me since the Tender Mercies days, you felt me building up to this, and it's time. I think it's time to announce it. I now have a co-host on You're Alone. So as of this episode, it is no longer You're Alone with Trey Schneider. It is You're Alone with Trey and Steven. That way I can maintain the same initials or acronym or whatever. It's still Yawts. It's just not Schneider. It's Steven now. So, Steven. Oh, you don't have to play it right now. Goodness.
No, I just found it. I found it.
Anyways, Steven, how do you feel about being the newest co-host on the Tender Mercies Network?
It's an honor, man. It truly is. You know, I've been a big fan. I've wanted to be on here since day one, and I'm here now.
Yeah, I mean, last week was or 2 weeks ago was a good warm-up. You know, really gave me an opportunity to see what you could do on the mic.
Yeah.
And I really think you tore it up. You know, very few people can do what you do in the studio, and I think that you really showcased your talent.
I'm truly blessed. Blessings, man. That's all I'm going to say.
Blessings. Roll music. All right. So let's get into our notes here, Steve. It is time. We're gonna start with a draft. Good old fashioned draft. For those of you that are coming back from the Tender Mercies days, you'll recognize the draft. You guys remember these drafts. We have a topic. Steven and I are gonna go snake draft style and pick things from this category, and then you guys will get to vote on who had the better list. So, Steven, we have 4 items, or 4 different topics we can draft for. We have greatest sports moments. Sorry, that's very different than greatest sports, but greatest sports moments. We have household items. We have cars, and we have embarrassing events. And Steven, I'm going to leave it up to you to decide which of these we do. And if you want to turn it over to Anthony to have Anthony decide, we can do that as well. Anthony is, of course, as everyone knows, this is Steven's brother-in-law.
Yeah, everybody knows.
Everybody. I mean, I knew, and if I know, then I know everyone knows. And Anthony is currently mic-less right now because my setup isn't that fantastic. But Anthony currently is waving to everybody. But Steven, which one are we going to do, or do you want Anthony to decide it for us?
Anthony, decide for us.
Racing moments, cars. What were the other 2 options?
Household items and greatest sports moments.
Doing most embarrassing moments.
Okay, embarrassing moment. So this can be a personal, embarrassing moment that you've had, or kind of my thought process when I wrote this one down was what are some events that have happened or you've heard about happening that if you're dude, if that had happened to me, I'd be so embarrassed. You kind of get the gist.
Yeah.
I'll go first, and I'll kind of give you an example. One of the most embarrassing moments of all time is peeing your pants on the first day of school, in front of your class. Right? I've never done that, but if that happened to me, I'd be so embarrassed. So now you're up. You're going to pick to end round 1, and you'll be the first pick in round 2. So you'll pick 2 in a row, essentially. And podcasting, silence can be okay. I'll just say that. But we don't want too much.
Yeah. Okay. I remember embarrassing moment for me.
Oh, you go personal on the first one.
Well, yeah. I got another one I thought of, but it was Little League baseball. Can't remember the year, but I had just got done playing a game, and my older brother's team, they needed an extra player. They were missing somebody.
Okay.
Oh, you know what? I forgot to put my glasses on.
Yeah, put the glasses on.
Put the glasses on. That's my bad.
All right, Frozen.
All right, now it's flowing. But they needed an extra player, so I was like, okay, I'll play with you guys. I was playing left field, and I remember I had to pee so bad. So
Stop.
bad. No, yeah. I was sitting there out in the field, and I was like, oh, no, it's coming. So I just pissed myself in left field, and I was the very next person up to bat after we had gotten 3 outs on him. So
like you just like peed your pants
peed
in
my
left
pants.
field?
Yep. I had to go so bad, and I couldn't just run off, and I was just like, shoot. So I peed my pants, ran up, got the out, and then we went up. I went up to bat, and I think I struck out too because how embarrassed I was. And then I think after that, I left, or the game was over or something. I can't really remember.
No, they said you can go home. They
Yeah,
really needed you, but they'd rather play with 8 than 9, and the 9th guy peed his pants.
Yeah.
All right.
That was I can't remember when that was, but it was horrible. It really was.
Steven's like, yeah, I was 12.
Yeah. Probably.
All right. So that's the end of round 1. We're going 4 rounds. You get to start round 2.
What's her face? Oh, just anything, huh?
Yeah, it can be like a general. Like you don't have to have lived this moment. Just like in a moment in which you would be embarrassed.
Well, shoot,
but I mean, I don't know if you can
just
top
the other
that.
night. No. Well, just the other night, did you see? They had the All-Star Home Run Derby, and this chick sang the national anthem.
Did you see what she said today?
Yeah, she said. Well, first of all, it was horrible, and she's like, "I want to apologize. I was drunk.
Yeah.
I'm checking myself in."
Yeah. So I forget her name already, but yeah, she sings the national anthem. No, this wasn't Fergie. This was like 2 nights ago, or no, was it last night? Ingrid something.
Ingrid.
Yeah, Ingrid
Andrez or something.
Andrezi, something like that. And she sings the national anthem. It's Fergie-esque in the way that like she's trying to be extra. She's trying to do extra stuff, but she's also drunk. So she's also super flat the entire time. And I was telling Tally, because we were talking about it earlier today, I had said that it was pretty bad the whole time. But if she had like finished it off with like a good like ending, like people probably wouldn't have like remembered it. Like they would have been like, that was kind of bad, but whatever. But she really, really went for it to end the national anthem. Like the last 2 lines where people really like get into it, home or land of the free, home of the brave, and she just to put it in baseball terms, since it was at the All-Star game, she swung and missed.
Yeah.
Like bad.
My opinion is I think she just sucks, and then she was just making an excuse because usually
I told Tally, I was like, I wonder like if it was one of those where it was just that bad, and she's like, she's really gonna check herself into rehab.
Yeah, because usually, I mean, being drunk isn't gonna make you not be good at singing. I mean, look at all look at all the bands in the 70s and 80s on drugs, drinking.
Yeah, but I am gonna say this: if you are hammered enough, and you have to remember, she has no music. Well, she's saying that a cappella.
If she was super drunk, don't you think she'd be stumbling around and whatnot?
She was standing still.
Yeah, I think that'd be kind of hard if you were drunk, just standing still. You'd at least be waving back and forth. I don't know.
I mean, I'm just saying that there's a chance that she was drunk. There's also a chance, like we said, that it was just that bad, and she's really going to check herself into rehab because of how horrible that performance was. Either way, my father-in-law and I have talked about this, and actually not even just us two. I think we've talked about this with a lot of different people, but singing the national anthem is a lose-lose.
Yeah.
Like, what do you gain from singing the national anthem? You get like 30 seconds of exposure, and if you do, and that's if you do really well, right? Yeah. You do super good. People for like the 30 seconds following the national anthem are like, that person was so good. And then by the time the game starts, they can't even remember your name.
Yep, that's true.
Worst case scenario, as we've seen, you check yourself into rehab.
Well, let's just say God bless her, and we hope that she gets the help that she needs, huh?
and maybe some vocal coaches while she's in there.
Yep.
All right. Okay, so embarrassing moment is flopping on the national anthem. I just got to repeat that for myself so that when I'm making this list tonight and tomorrow, I know what it was. Okay, for me to end round 2, I'm gonna go personal. I'm gonna go personal on this one. I don't remember if this was 7th or 8th grade. I would imagine 8th grade because I think I was a little bit more confident in myself at the time, and that plays into this story. Um, it was wrestling season, and I believe you're actually a part of the story. Like you were at least present for it. It's wrestling season, and for those of you that knew me in junior high, I was like 5'11" and 115 pounds. And so, as you can tell, wrestling wasn't my thing. I just got mopped on the floor by whoever I wrestled, really. But I did it anyways because you get a cool trophy at the end of the year if you did all the sports. So, I'm at the junior high for a wrestling meet. I'm in my singlet, and I'm wearing basketball shorts, but I don't think I'm wearing a shirt. I think it's just my singlet on the top. And there was also volleyball games going on. And what I failed to realize is that my mom reffed those volleyball games. And so the reason why this is important is my mom is showing up to the school to ref this volleyball game. She parks in the parking lot. She gets out of her car and she sees a group of boys kind of like huddled around another boy who happens to be me. And she walks over to kind of say hi, wish me luck at my second string wrestling meet.
Second string.
And to her horror, to a group of men, I don't think there was a single girl around, to a group of my friends that are all guys, I am doing a striptease on the school grounds. I've dropped my singlet off of my shoulders. I'm working myself down to the waist. And I just hear, "Hey, Trey, what are you doing?" It was my mom. And I was mortified. I whipped around. I saw her, and I was like, "Oh no!" So then I turned back around to my friends, and everyone was gone. So it was just me with my singlet down around my waist, and my mom just standing there, having witnessed my first Magic Mike moment. So
What'd she say about that when you guys got home?
she just put it on Facebook. So every year, my mom will send that to me on Facebook and be like, "Just remember this." It really did propel my stripping career.
Yeah, you did quite well in that.
I did very well, and the Chippendales they want me, so I'll just leave it at that. And then for my third pick, embarrassing moment, I would say calling your teacher mom.
Yeah.
I had 1 year where I really struggled with that. It was somewhere from 3rd to 5th grade, one of those grades in there, where it's like you're definitely old enough to know like that's not okay and it's weird, and old enough to be embarrassed. And I just remember like I would always be like, "Hey, mom, I mean, Mrs. Whatever," and yeah, it was embarrassing.
Well, shoot, at that point you're around your teacher more than your mom. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I've had
My mom was working a full-time job.
Full-time job, man. Got
She
to
had to
support the kids,
She was supporting the kids. Someone had to. Wasn't gonna be my dad. Someone had to.
So yeah, that happened to me too a couple times.
All right, you're up for your third pick and then start of the 4th round.
I thought of this. Just seen a couple of videos of, you always see like someone who does this amazing run for football, and then right before he gets to the touchdown, he just throws the ball because he thinks that he's
like
passed.
Spikes it,
but he's like at the 2-yard line, and then it just turns into a fumble, and then afterwards they're just like, "Oh my gosh!" So luckily, I've never done that. I have fumbled though.
Not very many times, though. Not very
many times.
You were probably down too, but they just didn't call it.
Right.
Because Steven didn't fumble.
No. Nope.
Not legally, anyways.
So yeah, that would if that ever happened to me, I'd probably just walk off the field.
Be done, huh?
Probably.
Okay, number 4. Your last one. It's got to be a good one.
My last one. Okay, this was embarrassing for me.
Okay.
So it was senior year.
All right.
And do you remember when Mr. Weir would have his ping pong tournament? So
I never competed because I knew I wasn't going to be good
I competed.
enough.
I got third place.
Really?
Should have got second, but the guy I was playing, he served it when I wasn't looking.
Ooh,
so he scored.
Dirtbag.
And then he started arguing with me, and I was like, "Dude, this ain't even worth my time." So then I lost. So during some sort of rally. We had some prep rally or something in the
Yeah.
gym, and Mr. Weir came out with the ping pong table and the other guy who was playing in the championship. And Mr. Weir, he's like, let's get the third place winner down here and announce it.
Okay.
So I walked down there. I'm like, oh, this is so embarrassing.
Do you think he did that on purpose, knowing it was you? Because you were full of spirit.
He might have.
I could see him doing that.
So I just go down there. He hands me the microphone. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what to say. So like I said, like maybe 3 or 4 words that whole time, and I was just standing there embarrassed, and I didn't even call out the game really.
And to think, this is my co-host.
Yeah. I was just like, what am I doing here? First of all, it's embarrassing because
It's true.
I should have been there.
It's true.
I should have been playing. Mr. Weir is really good. He probably would have beat me. But I think he did win. Mr. Weir did. But yeah, that was embarrassing being in front of the whole school and just didn't have any words to say. It was embarrassing. Yeah.
It's really messed up. All right. For my last, no, was that your third or was that was your fourth?
The fourth, yeah.
Okay. Trying to think, do I go personal or do I keep it pretty general? I think I'll go general, but it's something I've done 1,000 times. So I like to think of myself as a somewhat patient person, right? Like I could always be better. I'm not saying I'm the most patient, but I feel like I could be more patient. But as far as other people, I feel like I'm on the more patient side of the spectrum. And but I will say this. As soon as I get behind the wheel, that all goes out the window. I have a very high standard for drivers on the road, and I get upset if you are doing absolutely anything wrong. Yeah, but my thing is incompetent drivers, I can't stand them. But then, like, there was one time I was so upset at this person. We pull up to a 4-way stop sign, and I'm so mad because I'm waiting for them to go. And then my wife will look over at me and go, "You were here first. Like, they're waiting on you." I'm like, I look so dumb. To me, I know that a lot of people, they go on their way and they don't remember that. They might go tell a family member or coworker, like, yeah, there was this idiot at the stoplight or the stop sign and didn't go. And then they forget about it. But I internalize those things. So, all right. Those have been an embarrassing events and moments. We'll get better at this draft. We'll get better topics too. All right. So we'll get into the nitty gritty here. I was listening to my favorite podcast, the Ghost Runners podcast with Jake and Brad. And one of the sayings that they've been saying a lot lately that has really resonated with me is that they're rich. And I'm like, that would be nice to be rich. And then they supplement that with rich in the things that matter. So on a more serious note, Stephen, what are some of the things that make you rich in the thing that matters? In the things that matter?
Well, I think one could be having a good relationship with your friends, with your family, with your wife.
Your wife's third, huh? She's the third most important relationship.
Wife number one.
Okay, all right.
Wife number one, family number two, friends number three.
But if it's me,
but it's yeah, that's.
But I'm kind of like tied for first, sometimes second.
Yeah, okay, it just depends.
Yeah, that's cool. All right. Rich in the things that matter. My kid's healthy. Yeah, he's super fun. And really, I've got a good life. Things are looking up. Things are working out. Even when sometimes I'm like, that didn't work out the way I thought. They eventually work out. So that's my weekly reminder, weekly offering of gratitude of being rich in the things that matter is that, my kid's healthy and things are working out. All right. So you would put down here greatest sports moments. I don't know if you put that down because you saw the draft there, or did you want to actually discuss like a greatest sports moment?
Yeah, I kind of just threw it on there, but But yeah, it would be nice. Yeah, I want to hear yours. What you think the greatest sport moments are?
Um, Greatest sports moment of all time. It's hard because I have like Rocky playing in my head,
Oh yeah,
and that don't count. That don't count.
beating the Russian, huh?
That's the best Rocky movie. Rocky Four, Cold War. It's
Cold
symbolism.
War, yeah.
Symbolism. That hardworking muscle beats the high tech Jimmy, whatever, and USA baby.
I think I'll just go ahead while you're thinking. But I
Yeah.
think the two greatest of all time is well, actually, maybe not the all time, but I think the greatest of all time is when the Cavs came back from that 3-1
That
loss.
is,
I think that would be the greatest.
yeah. I could see an argument. For me, it lands somewhere in the top 10 for sure. I don't know if it's number one, but it is one of those like it's unprecedented. It came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
No one had done it. I was actually going to say I think Tom Brady's last Super Bowl with Tampa Bay. Right, Tom Brady, he's established himself as a winner. Like that didn't
Mhm.
surprise anybody. But I think they went into the playoffs with a 7-5.
Yeah.
No, not 7-5. What was it?
It was low for sure.
But yeah, I mean, a lot of teams miss the playoffs with that record, and go on to win the Super Bowl with Tom Brady, who should have been in a nursing home at that point, and and he had Mike Evans. I'm not saying like he didn't have any help,
Yeah.
but definitely didn't have the same help that Patrick Mahomes has had, or
Or
like
as
the
he
LA
did on the
Rams.
Patriots.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think, and it wasn't like action packed, like wow, what, but one of those ones. Or I would say I don't like, or not that I don't like either of these colleges. I just don't root for either of these colleges. But the kick return, Auburn versus Alabama.
Oh, Alabama kicking like that 50-something yard
Yeah,
field goal.
Alabama's kicking a forever long field goal. They kick it, and Auburn runs it back, and Auburn's gonna win the football game. Like just gets my blood going. It's awesome.
Something that gets my blood going is when 2013 finals, LeBron James shoots the three from up top. Chris Bosh gets the rebound, passes out to Ray Allen in the corner.
Rebound Bosh.
Bang!
Rebound Bosh. Out to Allen. Corner three. Bang! Yeah, that's a great. Mike Breen makes any moment better.
And then everybody's just up in the air, just celebrating. Man.
Yep.
I watched it live too.
Did you?
I remember.
I feel like I either watched it live or I was in the car like on the way to like some scouting event and we listened to it on the radio. But yeah. All right. Let's talk about maybe the biggest story in news this week. Okay. This isn't going to be a political discussion, but former President Donald Trump shot in the ear. How crazy was that?
That, man. When I first, let's see, what was I doing? I was working, and then my wife texted me and said, hey, Trump just got shot. And I was like, what? And then I just looked it up, and I was like, that is just so, like, kind of just random.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Hasn't been an assassination attempt in years.
I think Tally and I were thinking about it, and I think Reagan was the last one.
Yeah.
Last attempt.
He survived, though.
Yeah.
He got shot.
Yeah, no, I mean, you could argue Trump got shot. His was more.
He got hit in the body.
Yeah, no. He had a bullet in him,
and he kept going.
USA, baby.
But Trump, he kept going too.
Well, so
he went to wherever he was the very next day.
So, I will say this. One of the thing. Sorry, I'm going to backtrack a little bit. Again, not talking like my personal politics. These are just some of the opinions and things that I've seen since. That Donald Trump, because of this, won the presidency. And, excuse me.
That's how it was with Reagan.
Really?
Well, I think I saw something where the polls just went skyrocketed towards him after that.
No, and the reason being is, a lot of people are already questioning the competency of both presidential candidates, both Joe Biden and Donald Trump. more so Joe Biden, obviously, but they're also kind of scrutinizing Trump, and does he have the ability to look out beyond himself and whatever, and he gets shot in the ear, right? I think we've all seen the video. He gets shot in the ear and jumps down, and Secret Service surrounds him, and the very next thing he does when they stand him up is he looks out to the crowd, starts pumping his fist, fight, 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 right? And I think that a lot of people looked at that and went, that's my guy.
Yeah.
Right? Even if they weren't voting for him before, this is a guy who almost just died, and his first thought was to look to us and tell us fight, right? Now, what he meant by that was that fight for your lives and get out of here, right? Or like, we're going to like figuratively fight. We're going to get through this and move on. Who knows? But either way, I think that a lot of people look at that and they go, that's my guy.
Yeah, that definitely won him for sure. He's going to win for sure now. But just even when you look more and more into it, it's just super sketchy. Kind of like the Secret Service knew like 3 minutes before the shot even happened that there was a kid on the building with a rifle pointing at him. I seen videos of people like recording saying, "Hey, there's somebody on the building right there, right there." And how far was he? 300 yards or something away from him?
Quite a ways, yeah.
But still, though, how can this 20-year-old random kid get that close to a former president when Secret Service is supposed to have the whole place on lockdown?
That is true.
And why is Secret Service allowing that kid to even be there when knowing he was there? You know what I mean?
Well, so because he was outside of like the rally, right? Because he climbed up on a building like adjacent to like where they were holding the rally.
Yeah.
But agreed, like they have snipers in the area. They should have known, like,
Well, there's photos of the snipers like looking at him in that direction.
Yeah. So who knows?
But it's just the more you look into it, the more
questions you have.
The more sus it becomes. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that us Americans, we need to stand together now, because if you see that, regardless of whatever party it is, if one party's about to win and the other party decides to, put an assassination attempt on the president, like,
yeah,
what I mean? Like, we should not allow that to happen.
No, and I think that Joe Biden definitely did come out and, he said a lot of nonsense in the last couple of weeks, but I saw like his little video that he put out that, political violence, and then he went on to say just violence of any kind should not be tolerated, and I agree 100%, right?
For sure.
But even in the political sphere, but I am going to say this, it doesn't help when your two political candidates are arguing like children over whose golf game is better.
Yeah, that whole discussion was pointless.
That breeds pettiness, and there's a lot of people that feed into that.
Yeah.
Especially, it was a 20-year-old kid that shot at Trump. His brain's not fully developed. He might have bought into the petty back and forth of, you slept with a porn star. No, you did. No, your kid's a felon. No, you are. And, and so it's like, these guys, if they want to do more for the country, it's like, take your job seriously. Like I don't know. I'm going to stop it there because now I'm getting preachy.
Too political now.
I'm getting preachy. All right. So you don't know who this is, but there are going to be people who do. Cody Ko. Anthony, do you know who Cody Ko is?
No idea.
That's all right.
I did look, and he's some YouTuber. Yeah.
Pretty big YouTuber. Has a podcast as well. I listen to it a couple, every now and again. It's pretty good. He's pretty funny. He's definitely like bigger with like the women that are our wives' age, and like he's bigger with women anyways.
Okay.
He's really attractive, I will say that. He's Canadian. He dove in college, like he was like a diver.
Okay.
I believe he was a diver at Duke, I believe. But anyways, he's super attractive. I'm just going to leave that out there. And he's currently getting canceled, I think. Just when we thought the cancel culture was done, it's back. And this one maybe for somewhat good measure, I think. I don't have all the details. Tally's tried to fill me in on it, and to be honest, Not that my life's exciting, but I have enough going on that most of the details have now slipped my mind. But anyways, a couple years ago, he was working with another YouTuber who she's also pretty big now. She wasn't quite as big then. Most of you guys will know her as, I believe she married Logan Paul and then maybe got with Jake afterwards, but Tana Mongo, however you say her name. You know what I'm talking about?
She's with Logan right now?
No. She was a couple years ago.
Mm.
She ended up being with both Paul brothers at some point. And anyways, Cody may or may not have parents. If your kids are listening to this, now is a good time to cover their ears. So Cody may or may not have slept with her when she was a minor, and he was not. And so,
how long ago was that?
This probably would have been either right at the end of our high school career or shortly after when we were out of high school.
That was like 7 years ago then.
Yeah. But, I mean, that doesn't make it right.
No, for sure not. But, I mean, why is it coming out now after 7 years?
I don't remember. I think TikTok has a big thing to do about it. Like, I think Tana's brought it up on a couple podcasts, not even trying to get him in trouble, just more kind of like stated the fact, like, this is what happened.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of people are like, dude, that's gross, that's messed up, and they're going after him. So, he might be getting canceled, might not be. I would say, what are your thoughts? But you don't even know him. All right. And then I think it's time for our final topic, and we'll let you guys get out of here, get on with your weeks. It's also, I believe, the Olympics start next week. Is that right? Do either of you guys know? Anthony, you're the Google guy.
The what?
The Olympics.
The Olympics?
Are they start next week?
They start, July 26th to August 11th.
Sorry, what was that? July what?
July 26th to August 11th.
So a week and a half from now.
Yep.
All right. How many Olympic gold medals do you think the USA is taking home?
How many can you get?
It's a really that's a really good question. Let's look it up. Silence is really good.
Yeah. Well, okay. Approximately 5,000 medals. Oh, that was in Tokyo in 2020. Well.
All right.
340.
How many?
No, maybe 55.
Gold medals are given out at the Olympics?
Yeah, this is like 340.
All right. I got it right here. So this is rough, man. I just want a total.
I just have some very good questions, don't I?
Yes, you do. I think it's approximately 339.
339. Well, I think that the U.S. will take home...
Do you want to hear the breakdown real quick?
Sure.
All right. So, wait, hold on. So I don't think it's quite that high. I think that there are 330. I don't know. All right. So number of available gold medals. This was in 2021. But so it's going to be relatively close, if not the same. 48 athletics. I don't know what that means. 37 swimming medals.
Okay.
15 judo shooting. So like they've mixed martial arts and shooting in the same. 14 artistic gymnastics, rowing, and weightlifting. You've got 13 boxing medals. 12 fencing, track cycling, canoe sprint, freestyle wrestling. Like these are some random categories.
Random stuff.
10 sailing.
Well, it is the Summer Olympics, so it's going to have all these random events.
No, but I'm saying like when I said 12 fencing, track, whatever.
Uh-huh.
Oh, maybe they have 15 of each of these. So 15 judo, 15 shooting. Maybe that. Okay, I think that makes more sense. Okay, so 10 sailing, 8 diving, 8 karate, and 8 taekwondo, 6 equestrian, and 6 Greco-Roman wrestling, whatever that is. 5 archery, 5 badminton, 5 table tennis, and 5 tennis. 4 BMX riding, 4 road cycling, 4 skateboarding, 4 canoe slalom, and 4 basketball, 3 triathlon, 2 in the list for 2 is way too many, but there's a bunch like indoor volleyball, beach volleyball, and a bunch of those kinds where it's 2, and then 1 for baseball, 1 for softball.
Well, I'd say because this is the greatest country in the world, we're taking home more than half.
Yeah. I don't know, dude. So I will say this. There are a lot of countries that are starting to put out some athletes.
Yeah, like ping pong.
When's the last time you saw a USA guy win ping pong?
No,
Not our
usually
lifetime.
just see some Asian dudes going ham.
Chinese.
Yeah.
Those Chinese guys, dude, they are swift
No,
with
they
the
are.
paddle.
It's true.
Swift.
Yeah.
And it's hard because, he wins table tennis and he's got to sprint across the Olympic complex to get to Taekwondo.
No, it's true.
So,
It's true.
yeah, it's pretty tough. So if there's approximately 339, I'm going to say the U.S. takes, I'm going to say 105 gold
105?
medals. Yeah, slightly under half.
Yeah. Yeah, I think for sure. For sure.
Okay. Anthony, anything else that the Google needs to have? Say, what does the Google have anything to say?
Google?
Yeah. You're the Google guy.
I'm the Google guy.
You're the Google guy.
The
This podcast is going to need a lot of editing.
Yeah. Something motivational.
Something motivational?
Yeah.
Yeah, say it to us.
Get the people pumped up, because most people that listen to this, I imagine, are like working or driving or
Yeah.
even just sitting at home with their kids. But
Okay, Steven.
but imagine Steven's at the gym listening to this, because I could imagine Steven listening to himself while he's working out to really get pumped up.
He's gonna do. Steven,
You know, I
can you
actually
repeat my
listen
words?
to sometimes I listen to the Rocky theme songs.
Oh,
Dun 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 dun. Dun dun.
we could be the acapella
Dun
group.
dun. Right when it starts hitting that, I just imagine Rocky just full on sprinting, and all those kids are chasing behind him. Gets me every time, man.
And the Russian standing on top of the steps by the Rocky statue, and Rocky just runs up and just clotheslines the guy,
Yeah.
kills the Russian.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
All right, what do you got, Anthony?
You gotta repeat what I say.
All right. Yeah.
okay.
We'll let's try to repeat every other word. So like you'll start with the first
Okay.
word, and then I'll go
Okay.
second word.
Even if.
If
What?
Even.
if
You guys just threw me off.
guys off. No, dang it.
Even if you guys.
Even
If
you
guys
are
having
day,
a
bad.
day,
you can still go home
still
No, it was you.
you
Can
still
go
home,
and
watch
uh
what's
his
name?
I'm trying to, it's like the boxer, or it's an MMA fighter. Something
It's-
Mouse. Mighty Mouse.
Mighty
Still go
Mouse.
home.
Who the heck?
All right, everybody. We're gonna see you guys next week. It was fantastic having you here.
Who's gonna
with
carry
us.
the boats and who's gonna carry the logs, huh?
He's like
Let's
the
get
best, He's the best fighter in his weight class in MMA.
it.
Mickey Mouse? You heard it here. Mickey,
Mouse.
Mighty Mickey
Mighty
Mouse.
Mouse. Let's get it.
Mighty Mickey Mouse is the best in his weight class. What would you call that weight class?
It was like, I think it was 150 to 160.
Grams? I mean, I can't imagine a mouse weighs that much.
He's just short. He's small.
All right. Hey, guys, thank you so much. Leave us a review. Oh, actually, hold on. We're going to end this with a confession because somebody confessed.
Someone did?
So, guys, you're going to see I'm putting confessions on Instagram. Put them on here. The best ones we read. Actually, we read all of them. But anyways, we have a confession. So I'm going to read the confession. I want you guys to think to yourselves, I'm not going to be like this person, and we're going to be done. One time, I ate all the frosting out of the Oreos and put the cookies back in the box. My younger brother was grounded for a week because everyone thought it was him.
Wow.
Let's not be like this person, everybody. See you guys next week.